I am so close to failing this challenge and it's only the third day. Listen, let me explain. How do I say this without insulting anyone who likes this book? I don't think I can do this. You know what? I think I can. I'm lying. That was a lie. I cannot stress this enough. This may be one of the best books that I will read in 2023. I don't want to speak ill of so many people's favorite book, but listen up, Fives, a tennis speaking. I'm so sorry. Hi, hello my friends. Hello my beautiful, beautiful people, my gorgeous, gorgeous humans. This may be the best or the worst idea that I've had in a very long time. Like worse than when I was challenged to read War and Peace in less than 30 days. Get comfy because I'm about to do a reading challenge. I'm about to put the boss in girl boss. I'm about to probably self-destruct. Honestly, I think this is a great way to self-destruct and to just really bring yourself to the brink of insanity. I'm going to be trying to read 200 pages every single day for a whole week. Yes! Everybody, sorry, you don't clap at funerals because yes, this is basically a wake. I am going to die. Yes, thank you. This could be fun, but this could also just ruin me for the rest of my life. But you know, it's the not knowing that's the fun part, and we'll never know if we never try. So for this week, I'm going to try my very hardest to read 200 pages every single day, no matter how long it takes. It could take 4 hours, it could take 8, depending on the book. And I'm going to be doing it for every single day of a week. Yes, I have previously done a reading challenge where I read 100 pages every day of the week, but honestly, that one was a little bit too easy. And I think I even mentioned it in that video. I was like,
I think the next challenge has to be reading 200 pages every day, because if we're being honest, I did read over 100 pages almost every day. Not flexing or anything, I just let the record show I went above and beyond.
She's got a point. She's an icon. She's a legend. And she is the moment. Now, come on now.
This is definitely a challenge considering my state of mind recently. Like, I've just not been in the reading mood. And I think this reading challenge is the perfect way to just snap me out of whatever funk it is that I'm trying to get in. Like, I don't want a reading slump. I don't want it. Please stop it. I don't want this. I hope you're excited. I hope you're a little bit scared because that is what I'm feeling right now. Part excitement, part fear, part delusion, part party. You know what I mean? I thought I would talk to you guys about my TBR for the week because 200 pages every single day. I'm bound to read and finish quite a lot of books. So this may seem a little bit, what's that word? Ambitious. Yes, thank you. This TBR may seem a little bit ambitious at first, but considering the fact that I'm going to be reading 200 pages every day, I think we're going to be fine. The first book that I definitely want to finish this week is The Complete Poems of Emily Dickinson. I've been reading this since the 28th of February, and I know I said I wanted to take my time with it, but you know what? I changed my mind. I no longer want to take my time with it. I think I took that phrase a little bit too literally. There are days, there are weeks where I don't even touch this book, and that's not exactly what I wanted. I specifically put this book on my nightstand so that every night before bed, I would read a couple of poems. That worked maybe the first 2 days, and ever since then, it's just been gathering dust. This is where I am. So, you know, not that much left, but I still have a considerable amount of poems to get through. I'm currently on page 508, and this has a total of 716 pages. Technically, if I start this challenge with this book, I'm going to finish this today, Monday, the first day of the challenge. That would be a little iconic of me, not gonna lie. That would honestly be such a weight off my shoulders because this has been on my currently reading list for longer than I'm used to having books there. So it's kind of making me feel lousy, not gonna lie. So it would be great if I could get this off my currently reading list. It's not that I'm not enjoying it, I just want to get it off my currently reading list, if you catch my drift. I do not want to let Miss Dickinson down. I can never forgive myself for disappointing a gay icon such as herself. So of course, I need to prioritize Emily Dickinson. So this is the first book of the challenge, and then I want to read a classic book. Yes, surprise, surprise. I want to try and read Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass, written by Lewis Carroll. Of course, I've seen the movie, the Disney movie, absolutely adore it. I grew up watching Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and I've never actually read the original material, so I think it would be really, really fun to see how I feel about the original story, how I like these characters. This has a total of 291 pages. So I could finish this in 2 days. I mean, sure. There's also some really interesting illustrations throughout the story, so that's something to look forward to. Ooh, the Cheshire Cat. Itsy, anybody? I also want to try and read Grand Master of Demonic Cultivation. When I unboxed this on one of my reading vlogs, so many of you went absolutely insane in the best way possible. Like, I loved seeing how many people were excited for me to finally have this book, and so many of you were rooting for me to read this, and you cannot wait to see my reaction. This has 350 pages, so I could also finish this in 3 days. No, 2 days. This next book is one of my most anticipated releases of 2023, and I don't know why I haven't picked it up yet. I think it's because I've been so focused on watching anime and binging anime that I just haven't made time for reading. And that's also a big reason as to why I'm making this whole challenge, because I can feel my reading habit just sort of dwindling away. I can feel it dying. I haven't watered that baby in so long, and if I don't do something crazy like reading 200 pages every single day for a week, I just know my reading habit is not going to survive. Where was I? Oh yes, the next book that I want to read this week is Yellow Face, written by R.F. Kuang. This is not out yet. I was incredibly lucky to receive an ARC of this. So again, why have I not picked this up? I've been so excited to read this ever since last year, and now I have an ARC and I haven't picked it up because apparently something's not working here. I don't know why I'm denying myself this happiness, but that ends this week. That ends now. This has a total of 319 pages. Again, around 2 days to finish this. I think I'm running out of days in the week. Another book that I have on this week's TBR is one that I have been so excited to get to because it's actually my Patreon buddy read for the month. And so many of my Patreons have loved it. So many of them have given it 5 stars. They've been sharing quotes and favorite scenes. And I have extreme FOMO, and I just cannot wait to pick up this book. That book is Anxious People, written by Frederick Bachman. I am so excited. I know I keep saying that, but I am just so excited for this book. This story is about a lot of things, but mostly about idiots. I mean, come on now. Like, it just sounds like a 5-star, and I'm really excited. This has a total of 341 pages. I mean, maybe I'm being a little bit ambitious, but hey, it's fun, and nobody's here to stop me, so I might as well. You know what I mean? The point of this challenge is not to read as many books as possible. The point is to rebuild my reading habit, because I've definitely been neglecting my reader side, my reader brain. It's in the gutters, my dude. My anime brain has taken over, and I really want to give some love to reading this week because it deserves it. I miss spending hours and hours reading books, so I feel like this would be a nice and fun way to get back up on the horse and have some fun with it. So without further ado, let's just get this reading challenge started. I hope you enjoy, and wish me luck. just about 2 hours, and I have officially finished The Complete Poems of Emily Dickinson. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I just said that sentence out loud. I finished The Complete Poems of Emily Dickinson, my dude. This was my first time reading Emily Dickinson, and it was definitely an experience. I knew next to nothing about this icon in American poetry, and now I do. Now I know a whole lot more than I ever did. Most of her poems revolve around nature and just basking in the beauty of a little bird that's out her window or the way that the grass moves. She is quite literally nature's biggest simp, and it was just really beautiful to see that come to play in her poetry. I'm going to be giving this 3.5 stars. I connected with a lot of Emily Dickinson's poems, but I also didn't vibe with a lot of them. So I think a 3.5 is pretty good, and I'm happy with that. In terms of the challenge itself, I will say this did get a little bit hard maybe like 30 minutes into it, because I was like, my mind was just not in it. I was like, I just want to binge anime. I don't want to read poetry. I don't want to be here. I want to go back to my desk and I want to watch Buddy Daddies. I want to watch Fruits Basket. I basically want to do anything except reading, but I pushed through. I put a really good playlist in the background that kind of brainwashed me into thinking that I was in a reading mood, and that helped, because by the 1 hour mark I started to fall into the groove of reading, and I was like, okay, this is not too bad. Okay, maybe this is doable. Officially the 200 page mark would have been in page 708, but I literally had 4 more pages left to finish the entire book, so I read 204 pages today. Just for the record, let the record show, I went above my goal today. I think this is a pretty good start to this reading challenge, this reading week. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling motivated. I'm still sort of battling my need, my want for watching anime, but hey, I persevered. Good job, babes. I am so proud of you. Now that I've finished The Complete Poems of Emily Dickinson, and now that I've completed my 200 pages for the day, I think I'm going to reward myself with some anime, because I deserve it. I've worked hard for this and I need a break. So that's what I'm gonna go do now. I hope you're enjoying the reading challenge so far, and just wish me luck for tomorrow. Fingers crossed it'll be just as good as today. Hi, welcome to day 2 of this reading challenge. It is currently 4:45 and I have officially reached page 220 of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. So Alice's Adventures in Wonderland actually finishes in page 110. So I'm just a little bit halfway through Through the Looking Glass. I think I have a few pages left of this story. And then there's also another story that's called Alice's Adventures Underground. I didn't know that this edition also included this third story, but hey, the more the merrier, because honestly, I've been loving this book. Oh my goodness. I am so happy that I chose this book as part of my TBR for this week because it is just so fun. It's so ridiculous and it's so whimsical and so fantastical. It's literally what I've been looking for, honestly. It's just such a fun read, and of course I had like the concept of what this story was going to be like, but reading it and seeing just how absolutely nonsensical it is so fun. Like, I'm just having so much fun reading this book. It's been so long since I've felt the desire to just sit down for hours on hours and just read my book, and I am so happy that Alice's Adventures in Wonderland is helping me feel that way again. And it's all thanks to this challenge, because if it weren't for this challenge, who knows when I would have found the time to pick this book up. It sort of feels like one of those stories that your parents used to tell you when you were really little, but you kept on asking them questions about how things worked or why they were the way that they were, and they just had to come up with the answers on the spot, and they kept on getting more and more ridiculous. It kind of feels like that's how this story came to be. It's just Lewis Carroll asking himself the silliest of questions and coming up with even sillier answers, and it's just very fun. And even though I reached my daily goal for the day, I kind of want to continue. I mean, I did finish my video. I've already uploaded it and it's scheduled, ready to go, early access to my Patreons, and I also already ran some errands in the morning. So technically, I could continue reading and maybe even finish, because I only have, this is 291, 7, okay, I'm only missing 71 pages to finish this. And if you would have told me before this week started that I had 71 pages to go, I would have been like, oh, that's gonna take me 2 to 3 days. But now, I mean, I can totally finish this today. Oh my god. Oh my god, I think I'm going to finish Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass today, which was not on the agenda. This was not the plan, but I kind of just want to go along with it. I kind of just want to keep the ball rolling. I don't want to think about it too much. If I want to read, I'm just going to keep on reading, even though I've already reached my daily goal. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is the plan. I figured it out. In the span of 3 seconds, I've planned out the rest of my day. I'm gonna go make myself some coffee. Yes, my afternoon is not complete without my cup of coffee. And then I am going to do my Animal Crossing daily rounds. And then I'm gonna come back and finish the few pages that I have left of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. It's the second day of the challenge and I'm already reading way past my reading goal, so I am very proud of myself. I feel like, I don't know, I don't want to jinx myself, but maybe this is going to be easier than I thought it would be. So yes, I'm gonna go get my coffee now. I hope you're enjoying the video, and I'll talk to you guys later.
3 hours later.
Alice's Adventures Underground is not actually another story. It's just literally the very first manuscript of what was to become Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I started reading it and I was like, this is literally the chapter 1 of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, so I was a little bit confused and I had to read the introduction, because usually I started skipping the introduction in classics books because they spoil the plot and I don't want that. Like, I don't want to be spoiled, so I usually skip the introduction, but for this one I had to read it to understand what was going on. The earlier version will never replace the fuller revised text, but it is of considerable historical interest as the first textual incarnation of one of the classics of children's literature. So there we go. Basically, I'm not going to be reading it because it's just like the first 5 chapters of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I spent a total of 3 hours and 2 minutes reading today. I definitely feel it. I'm not gonna come here and be like, oh my god, it was so easy. I was concentrated the whole time. Like, yes, at times I was having the time of my life. I was like, I don't want to put this down. This is so entertaining and so fun. But at other times, especially when I would get notifications, I was just like, oh my god, I could be playing my video games right now. I could be watching my anime, I could be watching YouTube videos. Like, there are just so many interruptions and possibilities of things to do in my day-to-day life. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to not give in to the temptation, but I'm proud of myself. Day 2 and I've finished another book. Technically, I was supposed to finish this tomorrow, but I'm happy. I'm having a good time. I mean, who knows? Maybe later tonight I'll even start Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, because it's not that I'm still in this huge reading mood, but I feel like I can read a couple of pages. So now I'm just gonna vibe. You know what I mean? Like, I deserve it. I've earned it. And maybe I'll even try going outside and like breathe some fresh air or whatever it is that you do out there. Maybe feel the sun on my skin before it sets. I don't know, like something crazy. Second day of the reading challenge and I am killing it, if I do say so myself. So hopefully I did not just jinx myself. Oh my god. But yes, I am now going to go outside and be one with nature. This is heavily influenced by Emily Dickinson, by the way. So yeah, I'm gonna go do that now. I did a boo-boo, I made a boo-boo, I am a boo-boo. Hi. I am here. I am on my knees begging for your forgiveness. Welcome to the 3rd day of this challenge. I was very optimistic yesterday. Yes, I was like, oh my god, this is so easy. Wow. Can I even call this a challenge? I think not. But today, I have been challenged. Yes, I find myself in a very precarious position because I am so close to failing this challenge and it's only the third day. Listen, let me explain. Okay, so yesterday I finished Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, right? I think I mentioned that even though I reached and even went over my daily page goal, I was still kind of like in a reading mood, so I might as well start another book. I didn't do that. I ended up starting a new anime. And then, you know, the night sort of just derailed from there. So I did not start a new book. And then today I woke up and just the thought of touching a book sent shivers down my spine. I didn't want to do it. I didn't. So, so this is what I did. Instead of reading, instead of touching a book, instead of even thinking of coming close to a book, I started a new K-drama. Okay, listen. Instead of reading myself, I just watched other people do it on a K-drama, and it's somehow 4 p.m. on a Wednesday. I've watched 7 episodes of my K-drama back to back. No one is here to tell me otherwise. Nobody can stop this slow spiral into insanity except for myself, because every time that I hit next episode, I was like, okay, time is running out and I still haven't read a single page of my 200-page goal for the day. I was really enjoying the episodes, but then this little nagging thought at the back of my mind was like, you can't keep enjoying this K-drama because you're going to fail your reading challenge and then you're going to feel horrible. Instead of hitting the next episode, even though the episode ended on a cliffhanger, I am doing my very hardest to sit down and, you know, try to give myself a sense of purpose, a sense of responsibility. I'm a Capricorn. I have to do this. This is part of my to-do list. If I don't finish my to-do list before the day ends, the day cannot end. It will just keep going. The day cannot end until I finish my to-do list. And part of my to-do list includes reading 200 pages of Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. Today has just been a struggle. I don't really have the motivation to pick this book up, but I'm doing it for the video. I'm doing it because I want to show myself that I can do this. I don't just want to get into this mindset of, oh, it's too hard. I probably would have failed anyways, so why not fail halfway through the week? I don't want to think like that. This is my very best attempt at trying to let go of these bad negative emotions. There's been like this dark cloud just hovering over me, and I don't want today to go down like that. I want today to be a good day, and I will try my very best to make it happen. So as a reminder, this has 319 pages, so I won't be finishing this today, but I'll get pretty close to the end. And maybe, who knows, once I start reading, I might actually end up liking it, and maybe I'll read even more than 200 pages. But for now, I don't want to push myself too much. I just want to try my hardest, and whatever page I reach, I'll be happy with that. There are just going to be days like that where the last thing that you want to do is pick up a book and read, and sometimes it's okay to not pick up the book. But the thing is, I've been having so many of those types of days that I just know I have to do something drastic like this. I'm gonna go read for a while. Wish me luck. I hope you're enjoying the video so far. Let me know down below your thoughts, your opinions. Are you going to be doing this challenge as well? Let me know, and I'll just start reading. I have been reading for 2 hours and 35 minutes and 21 seconds with 48 nanoseconds. I am definitely a lot more motivated now, and that is solely inspired, solely motivated by Yellowface, written by R.F. Kuang. Oh my goodness, my dude, this book is incredible. Of course, I am not surprised by this fact, but I just was not expecting this book to grip me like it has. My attention has been fully snatched by Yellowface. It's just, I do not have the mental capacity to explain just how glorious this book is, just how incredibly intelligent it is in how it's telling the story, how it's shaping these characters up, the whole plot, how it's developing. Oh my goodness. Like, I cannot stress this enough. This may be one of the best books that I will read in 2023. And it's like the perfect book to read if you're in a reading slump, because I think that's what I was battling at the beginning of the day. I just did not want to read today. And this book made me forget about that feeling. I've been reading for 2 hours and a half. I'm in page 176. I am like 30 pages away from reaching my final goal of the day, which is chapter 16, page 209. And to think that I thought I was going to struggle through this book. Oh my god, I'm obsessed with Yellowface. Since I wasn't feeling motivated, I thought that it would help if I tagged every 50 pages, and then when I reached every goal, I could take like a tiny break and watch a little bit of my K-drama. And I did that for the first 50 pages, and then when I reached page 100, I didn't pause because the story was so good. I wasn't even thinking of my K-drama at that point. I was just like, I need to keep reading this. Once I reached page 150, again, I did not pause to watch my K-drama because I was so into the story. I didn't want to lose the rhythm. But I think that the idea of having like a quick break every 50 pages definitely helped me in keeping myself motivated. So I think that's a cute little trick that you guys can try as well if you're struggling with, you know, building up a reading habit, because it definitely helped me. And sometimes, who knows, if the book is good enough, you won't even have to take those breaks when you reach the goal. I am very, I can't explain how much I'm loving this book, but I hope that by the excitement in my voice and just the sheer joy in my face, you can tell how much I'm loving this book. There was even this one point where it reminded me of Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky, because the woman June, who steals her friend's manuscript after she dies, she's like, what I'm doing, what I did, publishing my friend's work under my name, it's not a crime. And honestly, sometimes it feels like it was preordained by some divine entity. And that reminded me so vividly of Rask, which is our main character in Crime and Punishment. After he's committed his crime, after he's murdered a fellow human being, he's like, hey, you know what? I don't think this has nothing to do with me. Actually, I think this was God's plan all along. And it's like we have these two characters who are just going through the most delulu of eras, and it was so fun for me to find these similarities. It was kind of like a shock because I was like, oh my god, am I now going to see some of my favorite classics in all of the books that I read? And that was a very interesting thought to have, and it made me really happy to see a little bit of Crime and Punishment, you know, here in Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. It's just such an interesting piece of literature. It doesn't feel like any book that I've read. It feels so unique. It feels brilliant. It's just so many things. I can't get over how smart this book is. And our main character, June, she is so unlikable. She is so unreliable. She is at times exhibiting psychotic behaviors, and it's like you hate her, but you can't get enough. Like, you need to see this woman just absolutely lose it over and over again, because it is so entertaining to see her try and rationalize all of these terrible things that she's doing. Like, she's trying to explain herself. Like, she talks to us directly and she's like, you may think that what I did was stealing, but actually I'm honoring my friend's memory. And it's like, it's just so fun. Like, I can't stress this enough. This is so fun. Usually by now, if I were following my daily routine, I'd be watching my anime, watching a K-drama, or simply just doing nothing. But I think I'm going to be spending my evening with Yellowface. I don't know if I'm going to finish it because I do still have quite a long way to go. But oh my god, this book is so riveting. It is so captivating. It is the perfect book for when you're in a reading slump. I just had to talk to you guys about this breakthrough because oh my god, I was feeling so down today. I was down in the dumps. I had low-key already given up on today being a good day, but RF Kwong came to my rescue and I am so grateful, babes. Thank you. I'm gonna go back to reading now. Oh, I just... This book was fantastic. But now I need to go to bed. So yes, I'll see you tomorrow. I have some news. It is currently, can you see this? It's currently 9:18. It is 9:18 on the Thursday. Yes, so the 4th day of this challenge. I finished Yellowface last night. I am no longer in the danger of succumbing to a reading slump. Yellowface definitely took care of that. Yellowface was incredible. I think I still need like a few days to process just how good that book was. Just absolute insanity and delusion, and it was so good. It was so good. But today is the 4th day of this reading challenge, and you know, I'm usually in bed by 10, the latest. And that means I have like 40 minutes until I'm supposed to be sleeping, and I haven't read my 200 pages of the day. I don't know what's gotten into me. Actually, I do know. I've been watching K-dramas all day. There we go. And I also binge watched The Glory with my sister, like the last 8 episodes that recently came out. You know what I mean? Like, it's just been one of those days. I was also running errands in the morning, so like I technically didn't have that much time to read during the day. And then when the night came, my sister came. So you know what I mean? I haven't had the time, but that doesn't mean that I'm not gonna try my very hardest to read as many pages as I can before it hits the 12 a.m. mark. I'm just very happy that I have him with me because he's definitely offering a lot of moral support. For today, I thought I would officially start Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. So many people have told me that I should watch The Untamed. I should watch The Untamed. It's on Netflix. It's 50 episodes. It's actually very ironic that so many people are mentioning The Untamed to me right now because Yellowface by R.F. Kuang also mentions The Untamed. So I kind of feel like The Untamed is following me everywhere I go, and that was just really funny. So page 204 is the end of chapter 4. So this is gonna be my goal for today. That means I have to read all of this. Can I do this? Can I do this in less than 3 hours? We'll have to see. That's literally half of the book. I need to stop speaking and start reading because the clock is ticking and I don't want to fail this reading challenge. So without further ado, let's start reading Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. Basically, like we're at a sleepover. This is the aesthetic that I'm giving. I am literally so cozy right now. I am so dangerously close to just falling asleep. But no, I need to reach page 200 of Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. That is such a long title. I hate it here. But I have officially made it to chapter 2. Everybody clap for me. Thank you. That just means I have 98 pages to go. I don't think I can do this. You know what? I think I can. I'm lying. I'm lying. That was a lie. It is currently 12:24 on a Friday. Happy Friday, my dude. And as you saw by last night's clips, I reached page 204 of Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, which is the end of chapter 4. And I have a question. Why are these chapters so long? Literally, how am I 200 pages in and I'm only on chapter 4? Atrocious. It's actually a crime to have chapters this long. And I think that chapter 5 is like 50 pages. I hate it. I absolutely abhor it. But anyways, yes, I reached my daily goal of 200 pages. I almost didn't make it. I literally had like 7 minutes left of the day, but I did it. My eyes were killing me by the end of it, but I did it, and that's what matters. And today, Friday, I need to read 200 more pages. And the fact that this has 350 pages and I'm in page 204 that would mean that I would finish this book, but I wouldn't reach my daily goal. So when I finish Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, I'm going to be starting Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. I am honestly really excited for today's goal because, I don't know, it just feels like it's going to be a good one. So technically, I would finish this on Sunday, but I wouldn't have reached my 200-page goal on Sunday. So technically, I have to start another book. I'm doing a lot better than I thought I would, honestly, and I do have to say my reading mood has increased exponentially. I think it's heavily influenced by the fact that all of the books that I picked have been incredible. I'm literally halfway through the challenge, but it already feels like such a success. But I don't want to jinx myself, so I'm going to keep quiet for now, and I'm just going to go ahead and read, well, finish Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. I don't want to say anything yet. I'm just gonna keep on reading and see how I feel about the story, about the characters. I'll let you know once I finish. It is currently 5:44 Friday evening, Friday afternoon. I hope you're doing wonderful. And I know that I mentioned that today's plans were to finish Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation and then read the first 54 pages of Anxious People. Now here's the thing, this is what happened. This was not the plan, but I just very randomly picked up Anxious People and I was like, maybe I can read the first 50 pages now and then I can continue Grandmaster, because I was reading Grandmaster and I was just not really feeling it. So I was like, maybe I can start another book to, you know, just like switch things up a bit. And then I read the first 50 pages and I did not want to stop. And so I didn't. I didn't stop. I did not finish the book, but I did read 209 pages of Anxious People in one sitting. This is how she's looking. Look at this gorgeous, gorgeous girl. I love her so much. Look at all of these tabs. I am obsessed with the amount of tabs that I've used. This is such a gorgeous story and I am so happy that I am filming a vlog for this, because this is a reading experience that I never want to forget. So thank you Patreons for voting for this book for our March buddy read, because I am having the time of my life. Yeah, so I actually read more than 200 pages today. And I haven't finished Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. I made it to page 242, which is the beginning of chapter 6. And then I didn't read more than that. I'm still missing about 108 pages to finish Grandmaster. And I'm not going to do it. I'm not, because I've already read way past my reading goal. I've read like over 250 pages today. Now that I've reached my reading goals for the day, I'm going to be putting my books down, opening up my laptop and watching some Fruits Basket, and then later on catching up on some episodes of Crash Course on Romance, which is a K-drama that came out recently and I still haven't gotten around to finishing it, but I think I'm re-entering my K-drama phase as well as my anime phase as well as my reading phase. How am I going to juggle all of these different hobbies? I have no idea, but it's going to be fun to figure it out. Today is Saturday. It's currently 3:13 and I finished Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. This is the result. This is all of the tabs that I needed to read this book. Once I started, it was so hard to put it down, and I think that's how I'm already done with this book. Like, it's only been a day since I started it and I loved it. I finished it today, earlier today, And that means that since I was on page 209 yesterday, today I've read all of this, which amounts to, oh my god, I don't even know. Today's Saturday, I've already read 127 pages of my 200-page daily goal. So that means that I still have a couple of pages to go. I have around 73 pages, if my calculations are correct, to reach my 200 pages daily goal. Why is that so hard for me to say? Hi, welcome to my brain. Anyways, that means that I have a couple of pages to read of Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. The last time that I was reading this book, I left off on page 242. This has 350, so I still have 108 pages to read. So, you know, 108 pages, 73 pages, it's not much of a difference. It's just like around 30 pages. So if I read 73 pages and I'm really vibing with the story, I might as well just finish the book. So those are the plans for today. Just read as much as I can of Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. And of course, if I finish this today, that means that tomorrow I have to start a completely new book out of nowhere, unplanned. When I first started this challenge, it sounded preposterous. It sounded almost impossible. You know, considering my state of mind, the fact that I hadn't touched a book in so long and I was really struggling with reading books at that time, I thought that 200 pages was unattainable. I almost started this challenge as a joke because I was like, it's impossible for me to do this. And now look at me, like I need to start another book aside from my very ambitious TBR. So yeah, I mean, like, yes, like go me, like you go girl. The other book that I am planning on starting tomorrow, definitely not today, but definitely tomorrow, is The Idiot. I've been meaning to read this book for a very long time, but I just kept putting it off. But then I read Yellowface by R.F. Kuang, and they actually talk about this book in Yellowface, and the way that they talk about it, the things that they mention, it just reignited my excitement for this book. So I mean, I think this is the only natural next step that I can take. This has a total of 423 pages, so I'm definitely not going to be finishing this book for this challenge. Part 1 ends in page 224, so maybe that can be my goal, you know, not finish the book but reach part 2. These are my plans for Sunday, but right now it's Saturday, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. Today I'm going to be focusing on Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. I want to be honest with you. I know so many people were excited for me to love this, and I am liking it. Okay, it's an okay book. I don't want to speak ill of so many people's favorite book, but the writing is not for me. I think it's, yeah, I'm not the target audience. It took 242 pages for me to start liking it. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna leave you with that, you know, a little food for thought. But these are today's goals, so let's just see how I do. It's 2:41 on a Sunday, March 26th, and I have officially finished this challenge. I have read 206 pages of The Idiot, and this was probably the hardest day out of all of the days of this challenge, because this book, it is, how do I say this without insulting anyone who likes this book? It's just not for me. I just really struggled to read these 200 pages. I was in a reading mood, no longer am. All thanks to this book, unfortunately. I don't want to dwell too much on this book because even though it was hard to get through these 205 pages, 206, I finished the reading challenge. I've been reading 200 pages for 7 days straight, a whole week. To go from reading absolutely nothing to then finishing 5 books and getting halfway through another one, it's just a miracle to me, honestly. I was not expecting these results when I first started this challenge, and I am so proud of myself because I actually found myself enjoying reading again and making time for reading, which is something that I wasn't doing. I was so focused on watching anime and watching K-dramas and, you know, just spending my time thinking that I didn't have enough time. And I think that this challenge really helped me just recenter myself. I actually had so much fun doing this challenge. I think Wednesday and maybe Thursday were the hardest days, but hey, I did it, and that is all that matters. So let's go through all of the books that I finished. The first book that I finished on Monday was The Complete Poems of Emily Dickinson. Before I started this, I was so intimidated by it. I thought that it was going to be really hard for me to understand. But surprisingly, when I let go of that fear and when I just started reading and I didn't try to analyze every single line, I just sort of let the poems run through me and see which ones stick and which ones don't. I had a really pleasant experience and I actually found some really beautiful poems. This was the very first book that I finished for this reading challenge. On Tuesday, I also finished another book, and that was Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. This was just great, you know what I mean? Like, I already loved the story, what I knew from it, and seeing the original material and seeing where Alice was born was just a really great experience. I had so much fun reading this. And then Wednesday, I was not in the reading mood. I think that's when I was binging K-dramas. I started a little bit late in the day, but I still managed to read Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. This is probably my favorite book that I read this week. It's just, I can't get it out of my mind. It is so intelligent. It's so good. You just can't put it down. And if you do, you're going to be thinking about reading this book until you pick it back up again. This book is everything. I can't wait for you guys to read this. Oh my goodness. What did I do Thursday? Oh yes, that's when my sister came. I basically had so much to do on Thursday that I didn't have any time to read until it was like 9 p.m. And that's when I started Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. I did manage to read my 200 pages for that day, but it was really hard. It was just hard. I particularly struggled that day to complete the challenge, but I did it. And then Friday, I didn't continue with Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. I actually started Anxious People by Frederick Bachman, and this is another favorite of the week. I read this for my Patreon March buddy read, and oh my god, there's just so much to love about this book. I am so happy that I was able to document my reading experience through the exclusive reading vlog. I think I read over 200 pages in one sitting because I could not put this book down. This book had me gripped, it had me on a chokehold, and I was so happy to be there. So yeah, Friday was a fantastic day because I got to read Anxious People. Even though I didn't finish Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, I was happy because I was reading a book that I was really enjoying. And then Saturday, that's when I finished Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. When I finished Grandmaster, I was like, okay, let me go watch the first episode of The Untamed because that is its TV adaptation. And I'm so sorry to everybody who tuned into this video thinking that I was going to adore this book or the series. I couldn't make it past episode 1, and I'm probably not going to make it past volume 1 of this story. That is all I'm going to say. I really wanted to love this book, trust me, I really wanted to. I was forcing myself to love these characters. I was forcing myself to laugh at the jokes and at these characters trying to be funny, but it just wasn't working, babes, and I'm so sorry to disappoint the masses, but I don't think this story is for me. I think the story itself is pretty interesting and it had a lot of potential, but the writing, you know, could have been handled better. There we go. So this is the book that I finished on Saturday. Today, Sunday, is when I read the 200 pages of The Idiot, which is another book that I am unfortunately not enjoying. So these are the 6 books that I spent my week with. Yes, at times it was a struggle. Yes, at times I would have much rather to watch my anime or my K-drama, but I am so happy that I pushed myself to do this challenge because I can feel my reader self getting back on the horse, and that is very exciting because I have so many books that I want to get my hands on that I am excited to read, and I can finally feel myself wanting to pick them up again, and that is just a very beautiful feeling. Would I ever consider doing 300 pages? Absolutely not. I'm so sorry. Like, yes, some days were easier than others, but I think 200 is where I draw the line. Like 200 pages every single day, taking into consideration that some days I'm going to have more work than others. I'm going to have to run errands. I'm going to have people coming over or just things that I need to do. I think 200 pages is more than enough. I think it's perfect, actually. So I am not going to be doing 300 pages every day. I'm thinking that this is probably going to be one of my longest videos because there's just so much to talk about. I did so much, I read so much, and I have so many opinions. So I hope that you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please remember to like and subscribe and leave a comment. It really helps my channel out and it helps me keep making these videos for you guys. I also have a Patreon where I post exclusive content, exclusive reading vlogs. We also do some reading sprints, and we have a monthly book club. So if that's something that you'd be interested in, the link, as always, is down below. I would love to have you become part of my army of premium simpers. Once again, I really hope you guys enjoyed. I love every single one of you, and if you're still here, leave this emoji in the comments below so that I know you stayed on to the end and you're a true simp. And without further ado, this is the end of this video. I love you all so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Hey Jimmy, you nice, keep going.